All right, guys. A little bit of a surprise development here. Not really surprised though if you've been watching the radar for the past couple of minutes here. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning that is now in effect here. Give me a thumbs up in chat if you can hear me okay. This is a new microphone, or not a new microphone, but one that I'm actually testing today. So if you guys can hear me, uh, let me know in chat. All right, thank you guys. So we're watching this storm on the Kalamazoo Tower cam here. We were watching it as it crossed over Lake Michigan into West Michigan here, and on the leading edge of um, this storm is an area, a pocket, so to speak, of heavier winds here. Now, the Kalamazoo camera here at this location only picked up roughly 30 or so mile per hour winds, but you can see the heaviest winds are back here just crossing Kalamazoo here. This is the heaviest winds crossing up there. But I do want to mention, though, this is kind of a weird warning here. So the warning text says 60-mile-per-hour winds is your hazard here. But it also lists a tornado as also possible. Now, I'm not seeing rotation with this storm. So I'm not overly concerned with this. But judging by this is how this looks on radar, if I had to guess, they're more so concerned about how this is kind of bowing back in. Sometimes you can get some kind of funny thing happening on the storm. Not seeing that right now, but I do want to mention they are listing this as a tornado possible. Like I said, not seeing rotation, but do want to mention that. So this warning is in effect until 12:45. And this is going to be for the counties of Calhoun, northwestern Calhoun, Berry County, all of Berry, and also northeastern Kalamazoo County. So this is going to be moving northeast here. The storm, like I said, we're watching this on tower cam here for the past 20 or so minutes. Really good lighting producer here. Check that lightning out, guys. That is some insane lightning there. And as it passed over, I got to see a really cool shelf cloud there. And in fact, we just ended up posting one of our partner chaser, Ben. He was with his drone out there in South Kalamazoo County, and it was just a gorgeous storm on the leading edge of this. But we also had tons of comments flooding in from you guys saying the storm sounds wicked. The storm is this. Trees are going down, stuff like that. So not surprising they got this warning here. It's not. I don't think it's the actual storm itself. Like here's the storm back here. But the actual outflow winds are up here. Now, I do want to mention this as well. I'm just noticing this. We do have outflow boundaries here. One coming down here. There's also one that kind of curves up in there. So I'm kind of curious. We could have some twisting of some winds in there as well. That might be why they're listing this as a tornado possible. But again, not seeing rotation on radar, not concerned. But we kind of have these intersecting boundaries here that can make things interesting. So I just want to highlight that. But right now, the heaviest pocket of wind here looks to be just north of Galesburg, between Plainwell and Galesburg here, entering Richland, Augusta. Now, this pocket is going to be your heaviest winds here on this area, brighter colors, and just behind it near Parchment. It's a pretty good swath of wind here. And like I said before, when it passed over the Kalamazoo tower there, it only picked up roughly 30 or so mile per hour winds, but this is a pretty wide storm here. So we don't want to assume the entire storm is just producing 30 mile an hour winds. It could be producing pockets of heavier wind within. So treat it as such. So areas in the path of this would be, we'll go ahead and say just north of Battle Creek here, Augusta, Assyria, Level Park, Bedford, Banfield, Hickory Corners, Delton, Cedar Creek, Dowling, Lacey, Victory Landing, Nashville, Hastings, Carlton, further downstream here, Woodland, Coates Grove, Welcome Corner. You guys are all within this severe thunderstorm warning here. And for those of you in chat here, this is only really one storm here in the state. If you guys are not in this warning, you guys are practically clear. There's a couple other storm pockets down here by Portage, Three Rivers, down here by the border, South Bend, Indiana here. But other than that, it's a pretty quiet evening. Maybe some rumbles of thunder up here by Cadillac. But overall, you guys, the severe threat today is like almost zero. We weren't expecting this, but not surprising we got one with a little bit of lingering instability here, which could produce some winds, which is why you're seeing this warning here. But overall, not concerned for this to be a widespread statewide event. Not at all. This probably just be one warning. We're done. That's the expectation with us. So we're going to keep it right here on this. This is the heaviest pocket of wind here. Again, from about Galesburg over to Plainwell up right about this box right here, pushing to the north northeast here, uh, roughly right around 30 or so miles per hour. It's not moving too fast, not moving too slow. And go ahead and take a loop on this. We go back, we'll say 21 frames here, just kind of watch the evolution of this. This has been moving and producing some pretty heavier wind gusts here ever since it was into Paw Paw, Almena area portage. It turns more so to the north here. And that's when they decided to warn that here. Probably because if we notice here, if you guys can really read radar, if we animate this, we're going to see this boundary right here kind of sagging to the south as this one pushes north here. Keep an eye on that if I animate this back and forth. You see how they're kind of intersecting there? That's what we're kind of watching there, and that's probably why it's tagged as a possible tornado as well. But when we get intersecting boundaries, it can enhance wind shear, lift, and it can just overall intensity kind of pick up a little bit there, which isn't surprising, which is why you get this warning. So a little bit of mesoscale features happening with this to get this to be possible. I was ready for it, Julie. I was sitting here for the better part of about 3 hours. So doesn't look like much on radar. That's okay. The radar is really not like the storm here is kind of gusting out, has been gusting out here, but the heavier pocket of wind is associated to the further to the north here along this outflow boundary. We call it outflow boundary. You can see it pretty visible here. If I go ahead and zoom out and draw it for you, these little, I guess you can call it looks like rain here, but it's actually wind picking up like birds and bugs and stuff like that. It shows up on radar. So that's where your heaviest winds, and just behind that, that's where the heaviest winds are occurring with this. So just because it doesn't look menacing on radar, we can still see a pretty good area of wind here showing up. Got Joel in here with us now.
Hello.
What's up, Joel?
Not much.
So if you guys are in Richland, Augusta, the heaviest should be over you pretty much right now. Then you'll get some rain passing over you with some lightning behind that. Looking at that tower cam off Kalamazoo there, still seeing some flashes of lightning with that storm. This is looking northward from Kalamazoo, so looking basically into the storm.
Hello, Alan. Doing good. This is just north of Battle Creek right now. At least the warning box is. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
I was very curious why they tagged this as a tornado possible, but then I saw the intersecting boundaries and it kind of made more sense.
Mm-hmm.
No, Oakland County is not a threat tonight. There's really no risk at all. It's just kind of mesoscale features that came together to get this storm here to produce some stronger wind gusts. That's all we're seeing. Nothing too concerning with this.
It's a pure Michigan moment.
Yeah, pretty much. Getting windy in Augusta now. So yeah, you guys are going to be basically on that boundary right now. So that's not surprising. If I go ahead and zoom out here, guys, this is a very isolated, stronger storm here. Like if we're not talking severe for basically anywhere in the state tonight, this is like an isolated occurrence here, not concerned anywhere else. I don't expect there to be anything else besides this one.
So this is, again, for those who are just tuning in, this is only northwest Calhoun, northeast Kalamazoo, and most of Berry County. Hazards are 6-mile-per-hour winds, and they're saying a tornado is possible, but we are not seeing. I'm not seeing much in the way of like rotation, but it does, like Ryan was saying, intersecting boundaries can do crazy things.
Yeah, we got one strung up on radar right here, another one kind of angling up right here. They're kind of intersecting right about there. And then we look over on velocity here for our wind direction. We're not really seeing anything on rotation that would concern us. So
we'll keep an eye on it until the warning expires. And it's good if you guys are not familiar with where you guys are located on a map. Now is a good time to kind of get your bearings down. Again, this is West Michigan, Berry County, Hastings, Michigan, so just south of Grand Rapids. So if you know where you are in relation to that, it will help. Eaton County could see a severe thunderstorm warning downstream if this stronger signature of wind does continue. I would say immediate impacts for counties outside of the warning box would be Eaton, portions of Ionia, and portions of, I believe, Clinton County, which is northwest side of Lansing. Those are the only 3 counties that I would say would get a warning here in the next probably 30 minutes. Other than that, if those counties were not mentioned, then you guys are probably not in the risk for at least a good while.
Don't really see this. Don't see this progressing too far eastward either. This should be a pretty much one and done. There's not much in the way of ingredients making this possible. In fact, the storms that are currently warned are dying, but the outflow boundary is what we're more so concerned about, too. So that's going to intersect for a while there in Berry County. That'd be interesting to watch.
Yeah. Grand Ledge definitely in the path if it can stay together. That's Eaton County there on the north side of Eaton County.
Yeah. No, Nancy, the thumb would not be making. They won't make it that far. You may have some rain later on, towards like the morning hours, but that's about it.
This is also a good time to point out that the Storm Prediction Center risks not always accurate. I mean, they are accurate, but severe weather can happen outside of the marginal risk zone. So we were just in a general thunderstorm category for today, and we do have a severe thunderstorm warning. Storms are moving. Well, the whole entire line is heading west to east, but these general area of winds are heading northeast, almost due northeast. Again, this is West Michigan, Berry County right now, heading towards the Lansing area. So if you guys are not in the Lansing or downstream in the Lansing area, then you guys will not be affected by this severe thunderstorm warning. So like Monroe, Southeast Michigan, you guys are in the clear from this one. Yeah, it's Julie's pointing out. You can see the boundaries there intersecting, where you see like the little dark green lines that are kind of curling into the storm.
It is really interesting on a meteorological standpoint here, just watching these outflow boundaries interact with each other. You can see one up here. If we were to draw it here, there's one here. It's just weird how they all interact with each other and how they move. So it looks like rain, but it's not rain. There also further north here, it looks like there's an MCV back here.
Yeah. Yep.
Somebody messaged the page and asked about that. I caught my eye. I was like, whoa, what's going on with that? A lot of mesoscale features at play here today. That is for sure.
Kind of reminds me of a Bow Echo a little bit, just with the boundaries.
Kind have
seeing
been.
it in terms of like precipitation, but it just makes that shape.
I found it interesting too. There could have been an MCV here, a weak one, because you see how this kind of curls back in, like one like right here,
Mm-hmm.
maybe. I don't really see much in the way that would indicate that, spinning there on, animation here, but just the way this is kind of trying to take shape there. I wonder if that's also something
Yeah.
that you're seeing.
Of note, the further away those boundaries get from the line of convection, um, the less powerful, I guess you could say, the line will become. You'll still have like the strong winds, but like rain behind it. If it trails too far behind, then it will start to lose its oomph. So as you can start to say, if you like rock it back and forth, you can kind of see that a little bit.
Yes, yeah, it was close together, like right here, for example, and now it's
Mm-hmm.
starting to space apart. So it's losing. You can tell it's losing its intensity.
Yeah. Um, Point of preference there, Ryan. Julie says we need a bow echo sticker for the YouTube members that are watching.
Yeah, for all you members who are watching, you got new stickers and emojis to use, so feel free to
Yeah.
drop those in chat. We're testing those out. They're not finalized. We'll add some more later on.
Ben is back home. Good structure today. Yeah, go check it. We had some posts on the page, I believe, of those shells that came in on Lake Michigan earlier from Drew, right?
Yeah, I guess we have one from Ben up there too. So
Sweet. Apologize if it's loud at my place here. It is graduation Saturday for a lot of colleges around the state, and a lot of places are, throwing parties like my neighbors. So if you hear noises, that's them. Allegan County, you guys are behind the line at this point. As you can see there, Allegan County is on the radar right now. It's that rectangular county just to the left of Barry.
all right, so up here,
Up one. Yep, that one. I believe Sunfield is in the severe thunderstorm warning. That's northern Barry County. Or no, it's very northwestern Eaton County. So you guys are right on the edge of that warning. Lexi, they'd say they added the tornado possible tag in it. We're not seeing like anything in terms of rotation, but due to the interacting boundaries, they went ahead and tagged it for tornado possible just in case.
Yeah, so going into that further here, we're seeing two areas that are going to collide or are colliding. We have one up here that's kind of angled back this way. We have one moving up this way. So when they collide, or when they're colliding, like right about here right now, when those collide together, some twisting of winds can happen. Right now, we're not seeing that, but I think it's a good move on Grand Rapids' part for putting that possible tornado tag on that. It's crazy too because the heavier winds are way out ahead of the actual line of storms. Like they're just north of Battle Creek here, from Battle Creek up to about Hastings. But if you look on radar here, the actual precip is well behind.
Drew, the LCL heights, or for those who are curious what LCL means, that's lifted condensation level. So that's the base at where your clouds form, is 1,000 feet. So not too bad. It's still a little bit elevated. These storms are heading. The entire line is heading due east because it stretches pretty much the entire length of the Lower Peninsula, I believe. It's actually going to hit here in Mount Pleasant where I'm at.
Yeah, you got a nice boundary there in a little bit coming for you.
Yep, there's my green dot right there. Yeah, it goes all the way up towards the bridge there.
Petoskey.
So, it's just a matter of like the line's heading west to east, but storm motion is heading northeast. National Weather Service Grand Rapids marked it tornado possible. That is the Grand Rapids jurisdiction zone. But this is going to miss Grand Rapids, just to the southeast. Storm motion right now is, what does it say, 35 miles per hour, it looks like.
Yes. Yes.
No hail threat in this. They're labeling it as less than 0.75 inches.
I'm gonna keep it right on the velocity here. That's probably gonna be the most concerning thing of anything out of this. There's really not much else to track besides the outflow boundary. The storm itself doesn't look, severe. Other than the outflow boundaries colliding together. So, if you guys do happen to live in Berry County and you're experiencing some gusty winds, let us know. Curious what these are doing right now. It's likely, Lexi. I don't think this is going to move on, past the current warning. As Joel mentioned before, the areas downstream, if it were to get extended, would be parts of Eaton and Ionia County, perhaps parts of Clinton. But again, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, so like east side of the state. So like if you live 127 and east, I would have to believe, not really in effect for this thunderstorm that we're tracking right now. Southeast Michigan, so like Monroe and Wayne, you guys will not be affected by this. Yeah, Washtenaw probably as well there.
Yeah,
What else? What other counties?
There's Lenawee here. There's Hillsdale. There's Jackson.
Yeah,
you guys
start
are
making X's. Keep doing the X's on them.
Yeah, you do have these thunderstorms heading your way, but number one, I think the main gusty concern is going to be with this outflow boundary. You could get some pretty good gusty winds, non-severe as that moves over to the east side, but the actual storms themselves are quite weak. It's really the outflow boundary that's really driving these winds tonight. So that boundary will continue to die off here as it continues to push east northeastward, but we're not going to rule out a stronger gust in there. It's just severe is quite unlikely today.
There's the only thing that's really driving these storms right now is surface-based CAPE, which is 500 joules per kilogram, and it's also the atmosphere is starting to cap a little bit. It looks like just a tad because it's getting colder at the surface, and you have still some warm air aloft. So yeah, that would create a little bit of an inversion. However, these storms are still poking through as it's still weak cap. There's not really much in the way of like energy downstream. Once you get to 127, there's no surface CAPE, which is our instability that we need for these storms to continue. So again, it looks like these storms will probably die by the time they get to US 127 tonight. That gust front will probably still push out past 127, but in terms of like convective precipitation, can really, yeah, there's your gust front there.
Ryan's going to push this way. Yeah, it's going to push eastward,
so
but it's not. But
no, I was just going to say, just that gust front will probably push out. Like I said, will push out beyond 127. So you might get a little bit of like gusty winds at your house randomly later. But that, as that gust front pushes out faster than the convective line behind it, that will lead to the convective nature of it start to disappear. The only way it would stay, I think, together is if those are actually MCVs, which I think you're right. I think there might be one right there.
Yeah, I think there is one there.
And, yeah.
Because if you look, this storm is attached to that line. All of a sudden, it's shot north there and it's getting pulled back now.
Yeah.
So this storm might be, I'm not going to say one to watch, but I mean, that might be the best one of the line here.
Yeah, a couple of rumbles of thunder there by Elkhart, it looks like, heading up into southern Michigan as well. Not severe at the moment. Again, we just have that one severe thunderstorm warning right now. They did cancel Kalamazoo County, by the way. They did trim it. We forgot to mention that. So Kalamazoo County, you're not in the warning anymore. Barry and extreme northwestern Calhoun are still in this warning. So Hastings, Woodland, I would say Nashville as well. Be ready for some gusty winds here in the next couple minutes. And then the heavier of rain is actually moving due north towards Middleville outside of the warning box at this point, if it can stay together.
Interested to see what's going to happen.
Charlotte. I was gonna say Charlotte's kind of in the path of this a little bit.
Yeah, I'd say it's heading that way.
Yeah.
I don't know how severe it actually is right now. It doesn't look as bad as it was 20 minutes ago. But
no, not at all. I would say if you're worried about going to sleep anytime soon, I would say just have your weather radio handy or any other ways that you guys get updated for severe warnings. But like we've been mentioning, if you live along and east of 127, we don't expect this to be severe beyond that point. So if you live to the east of 127, you guys are pretty much safe to go to bed tonight. Hopefully that answers a lot of the questions in chat. If you know where you guys live in relation to 127.
When that OFB passes over you, Joel, I don't know if you can sneak outside or look out your window or something, but I'd be kind of curious because it does look pretty strong up there. It looks like a pretty stout boundary.
Yeah. It is elevated, obviously. If you're looking up into the clouds at 4,200 feet. I would plug my GoPro in, but yeah, my GoPro doesn't have like good nighttime vision.
That's the one big downside to having GoPros. The yellow dots on the map are storm chasers. For example, I could go up here and I click on this one. It says Joel Fritzma, who is here, lovely here in chat with us. So those are active storm chasers.
So are the green.
Green's
updated like more recent.
Yep. There's also I think red on here too. I don't know if I can find one or not. Actually, yeah, there's orange. Like there's one. Then there's Chandler down there.
Yeah. I know on mine there's red dots for GR2.
Yeah, there is quite a bit of thunder with this one. Well, that should be dying off here shortly. Unless you're up here near the Irving Hastings area. There's a pocket here, or a storm, should I say, that's trying to hold out. We got this one right there. Crazy. Never really seen alpha boundaries like that before. Regardless, though, there is a severe warning here in effect for only Barry County now. They trimmed that back even further. Yep. So Calhoun is now out of that warning. It's just going to be mainly for Barry County. Not sure they're going to extend this. I wouldn't think they would, although I'll let them decide that. Eaton County, as well as Ionia County, and perhaps Southwest Clinton would be on deck for the gusty winds here, although I don't think they are severe. We will see what they do with
that. For those who are curious that if they want to have their bedroom windows open, I would say just as long as you don't have a west-facing window, you should be good. But if it is windy enough, the rain will blow in, so take that as you will. I just saw a comment about new to the area, hopped on from Minnesota. How's it look for Lansing? So Lansing, actually 127 goes right through Lansing. but most of Lansing is on the west side of 127. So still probably at risk for something stronger in terms of winds, but again, we don't really see this going on for too much longer here.
Just some general thunderstorms overnight, potentially, Alexis. Not really seeing much in the way of severe. I mean, we were kind of surprised to see this one pop up, honestly.
Yeah. And it's not exact. Like we mentioned 127 as like a dividing line, but it's just roughly. Like it's not like it's gonna hit 127 and all of a sudden all the range dies randomly. But crazier things have happened, I guess.
Can you hear that?
What?
Okay, good. I had the siren go off on the Radar Omega. I got to turn that off.
Oh.
Make sure it's not in Michigan, which it's not. It'd be more so for. Oh, it did update. They updated the warning. Expires. That's what it was. Still listed as a 60-mile-per-hour winds potentially, as well as a possible tornado. But again, we're not seeing rotation on radar. Just kind of watching this more so just because we had those intersecting surface boundaries, which can make things spin, but not really seeing much of anything going on there.
See comments about Middleville and Hastings. Middleville, you guys aren't in the warning box. Hastings, you guys are, and the storm's actually passing over you right now. Severe thunderstorm warning was issued about a half hour ago now.
About 20 minutes ago. Yeah, about a half hour. That's right.
Yeah, we've been live actually for 33 minutes here. So
so
Middleville, you guys aren't in. Yeah, you guys aren't in the warning, but it's right next to you, and the strongest of winds have already passed over, I believe. So. If you have like a night vision camera, you probably have a nice shelf cloud rolling through into Lansing here soon. If it's still going like it was earlier. Anywhere along this line, honestly. So if you have like any pictures you guys want to throw our way, don't put them under the live stream. Like we mention every time we're live. Don't put pictures in the live stream because we won't be able to see them. Put them in one of our other posts. So, and yeah. Go ahead.
That is a cool radar loop here as this came on shore here. That's when Drew was getting the shelf cloud pictures, and then just keeps on pushing and pushing and pushing. It's not, it's one of the better boundaries I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. So a shelf cloud is an indicator of outbound winds from the storm. So it's like downdraft basically. So you have winds that are actually pushing out faster away from the storm in tonight's case. And underneath a shelf cloud, you can't get tornadoes. They have a tornado possible for the severe thunderstorm warning, but that would be probably because the boundaries collided and behind the shelf cloud. But that shelf cloud is out and just ahead of that gust front.
Do we have multiple boundaries taking shape now? Like, what is this? This is so weird.
Loop it, maybe. I think it's one. I think it's just one. It's just the one. I think it's just.
Ah, man, what is this?
It's just one.
I think you're right. But if you look on velocity, though, it kind of makes it look like it's stacked there.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's for sure.
Shelf clouds, those long, wide, thick clouds. Yes, it looks. They're kind of called shelf clouds because they look like a giant bookshelf. You can probably store things on them.
No, Kent County / Grand Rapids is not under any warning at this point.
I'm gonna try and see if I can see a cloud out my window because that shelf's pretty much over me. So I have to turn off my light and look out.
Go for it. No, guys, we're not worried for Southeast Michigan at all. You guys have a chance of some rain overnight, perhaps rumble of thunder. But severe weather today. This is kind of like a freak incident, so to speak. Just have some things come together to get this particular area under a warning here. So we're not expecting this to be widespread or long term. So you guys can sleep well tonight, but don't be shocked to hear rumble of thunder. But we'll keep an eye on this area for right now. It is under a warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds, but it should be pretty isolated in nature.
I don't see like any significant structure, but there's definitely like a cloud sort of thing here in Mount Pleasant. It's kind of tough to tell. It doesn't look like crazy.
You have to wait another 5 or 10 minutes to get another visual on it. It's still about, I guess it's pretty close to you.
I would definitely. I have a good sight line here, and with the lights from the city off to my west, anyways, I would see if it's like underlit, and I'm not seeing anything.
Right.
Caledonia, it's passing by you. Mount Pleasant, we're going to get some gusty winds here in a second, but nothing severe. Yeah, Jazz, one of our members, Jazz, says rogue system trying to disobey the risk colors of SBC. That is 100% true. Oops, I just grabbed my peanuts thinking that was my water. They look the same. I'll be up late enough to watch the new SBC Outlook come in. Probably.
Oh yeah, I'll be up.
Yep, that will be the new day 3, I believe. And that won't get issued until probably 3 a.m.
Yep. So those of you who are tuning in from this general Southwest Michigan area, if you missed it on our page earlier, we do have a day 4 severe risk that is in place here for this area in Southwest Michigan. So we're kind of curious to see what they're going to do with that. They're going to expand it. They're going to shrink it. So that's what we're talking about here. That's SPC Outlook is coming up here about 2 in the morning. We'll have a better idea of what to expect. Don't think so, Adam. Don't think so at all. Just some gustier winds. Nothing too out of the ordinary.
It's always interesting to see a severe thunderstorm warning where there's not much in the way of convection inside of it.
Yeah, I was thinking earlier, when is the last time we saw an outflow boundary driven severe warning?
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yep.
I can't remember one incidence. I will say though, back on August 24th of last year, there was an outflow boundary for a brief time between between Lansing and Detroit. It tried to put one out, and that was interesting, but it didn't succeed very well. I'm noticing the storm now, Joel, is curving back to the west here. It's north. Now it's kind of trying to curl back in. It's weird.
Yeah, this will be north of Jackson. Sucks these storms aren't as good as Nebraska. I miss Nebraska storms. Nebraska got hit hard recently. I don't know if anyone's ready for Nebraska storms here yet.
Let's not hope whatever happens here. That being,
yeah,
Nebraska is more so rural across most of the state. We have obviously the large population areas, but Michigan, across the board is pretty populated from Grand Rapids to Flint to Detroit. We got a shelf cloud, don't we? Round 2, baby. Joel shelf cloud.
It's literally like a straight line.
Love it. Can we see it?
If you're watching, I know there's a couple of viewers from Mount Pleasant right now. If you guys look out your window to the west, there's a giant straight line across the skyline. That is your shelf cloud. It's actually behind. It's almost behind the gust front, I think.
Can we see it by chance, Joel?
I don't have a camera that's attached to my computer, and the GoPro would not pick it up.
Man,
it's not like as great as you saw like earlier in some of the pictures on the page, but I'm gonna send them to you so you can kind of get an idea at least of what we're seeing here.
I can probably pull them up on the stream here, actually.
I put them in our group chat. Again, they're not great by any means, but
yeah, that's pretty symmetrical in my opinion.
Yeah. If you want to throw them up there. I'm fired? Are you kidding me? How am I fired? Guys, I don't have enough time to put my camera live. It'll take like 5 minutes because I need my other computer. And my PC takes like 10 minutes to fire up. It'll already be in Midland by then.
It's a slow process getting ready for these streams.
Yeah. Ryan, I think they want you to put my pictures up on stream.
Oh, I'm getting.
It's literally not that great.
I'm waiting for it to pop in the email here so I can save it. There it is.
Our severe thunderstorm warning was just canceled, by the way.
All right,
so Berry County, you guys are out of it.
We'll do this up real quick. Give me a second. Oh, man, now it changed. Okay, there we go. Nope, not that one. This one. There you go.
There you go.
That is a beautiful shelf cloud, in my opinion.
That's on my window. It's not the greatest, but it
looks like it's stacked. It's like
kind of
stacked. But yeah, there you go. All right. I think we're safe to hop off here. Pretty quick live stream there.
Yeah.
So the gust front is well out ahead of these storms, and that should allow these storms to continue to weaken and decay. But that boundary, as it continues to push eastward, will bring some gusty winds for those of you who are out in front of this. Shouldn't be severe, but you may hear the winds pick up a little bit. Overall, not concerned about any severe weather with this at all. So I think we're good to end it, Joel. I don't think there's any reason to continue. We're not expecting much anything else. But in the event something else does pop up and go severe, we're here watching. We're always watching. So we'll jump back on if we have to.
Which is like 3 a.m. usually.
Right. We're up for at least 3 more hours, guys. So we got you covered. But do us a favor. Hit the like button on the stream, whether on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Feel free to smash the like button. We'd appreciate that. We're going to hop off.
This is a team. I saw someone saying how this is like Orion and I, like we started the page now. It's a team of 5. And Chandler's not here, but he was I think the man that started it all, I believe.
I was actually.
Oh, Ryan was. And then
I'll
Chandler.
take my credit.
Yeah.
Chandler and I brainstormed on what exactly the mission, blah, 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 all the good stuff. And then from there, it was like, up from there.
And then we got myself, Nick, and Alex, who you guys see from time to time. So we got a good team of 5 here, plus our guys behind the scenes who sometimes are in here as well. And shout out to our Chaser Partner Network, those guys as well. They're a huge part of this operation. So
we would not be where we are today without a team collaborative effort. So.
Mm-hmm. And it's May
All right,
5th. We got a long summer to go.
we're just getting started.
Yep.
All right, good, good, Joel.
Yeah, I am.
All right, if anything else happens to go up, we'll be here. So with that being said, you guys stay safe. You may hear rumbles of thunder, maybe some gusty winds. That's about it. We're not expecting anything else to be severe. So with that being said, we're gonna hop off here. You guys have a nice night and a wonderful sleep.